This week we got some delays. We had a rough game launch, but I promise you, by the end, it'll be all Gucci, and I don't mean that in necessarily a good way. So let's just go ahead together as a people and take it out. And welcome to another sensational Sunday. I'm Mike, and this week we got a lot of bad news, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't want to be Debbie Downer, so I'm gonna keep the energy up. But the news that I bring for this week is not great, and it's a roundup of it because there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about this week. So let's just hop into the first thing, and the main thing that I care about the most is the Steam Deck is getting delayed until February of 2022. That's when the first shipments are expected to start going out to people. So yes, if you haven't heard, it's due to the chip shortage. Just like everything else going on right now. I know we're all a little bit over it at this point, but there's not really anything that we can do until chip production gets back to normal. So yes, due to the chip shortage, Valve did get out there and announce that they're delaying the Steam Deck. So yeah, it's not the greatest news to hear. I mean, for me, it doesn't affect me too much because I was already a Q2 person anyway. Now in Steam, it just says expected after Q2 of 2022. So I don't even know when I'm gonna get mine. Probably this time next year. So I'm fine with that. I feel like the Steam Deck is gonna be worth waiting for, and I'll have my patience. It is, like I said, a little bit disappointing. Everyone will get theirs in time. Just have to wait. Just gotta wait. Another thing that could possibly be affected by this chip shortage is the PS5 production. So Bloomberg did a story, where they contact their sources, and they're saying that according to their sources, that Sony has forecasted 1 million less PS5s than were expected. They said they were originally forecasting 16 million. It's now gone down to 15 million. And yes, of course, it's due to the chip shortage. Also issues with the workers and the production line, apparently related to vaccine issues, which I won't get into, but that's what Bloomberg's reporting, is just issues with employees being able to get vaccines, things like that. So that's slowing down production. So we could see even fewer PS5s out there. Not that we're seeing them out there at all, because in reality, as soon as they go up, they get snatched up. Same thing with the Xbox. So it's not like really seeing them, but getting an opportunity to buy one, it's probably going to be a little bit more difficult. So that's another thing that's going to hit us right in this holiday season. I know a lot of people were hoping that we'll get like an Xbox or a PS5 by then. But again, they're still going to be difficult to get for a while. We don't know how long that's going to be. But we do know that this next delay was not related to the chip shortage at all. That's right. We have another delay, and that is Panic's Playdate. So if you haven't heard about it, it's this kind of cool retro style console that they're making that has a little crank on the side that is actually going to be implemented in the game control. So they're having like these indie type games developed for this handheld. It's really kind of a niche thing. I wasn't planning on getting it. It looks really cool though. Like, it's just not something that I would probably use that much, so I'm not going to get it. But either way, it was supposed to release next month, but they had to go ahead and delay it until early 2022. And this was actually a good thing on Panic because they delayed it because of a battery issue. So it wasn't because of the chip shortage. They produced their first 20,000 units, found out there was a battery issue. So instead of shipping any of those units out, they're taking the time to get them swapped out with better batteries. That way people that receive these don't have issues with the batteries and then, have to send them in for repair, or worse, they could possibly be dangerous. So it's actually good that they caught this and they're fixing it. I mean, it still sucks for the people that are waiting for the Playdate, but at least you know that you're going to get a safer version with a good battery. And that's what's most important. Like I said, this was actually a good move on them to delay it. Do you know who didn't make a good move? Rockstar with this GTA Definitive Edition. Yes, we have to talk about it because it came out, and I'll be honest, I was looking forward to getting it on the Switch, especially because I just got the Switch OLED, and I'm looking for a good game to play handheld, and I just love playing games handheld in general. So when I was like, the GTA trilogy is coming to Switch, I'm definitely getting it. Day one, that didn't happen, by the way. But in my mind, before any of this happened, I was like, day one, I'm getting it. I'm getting this trilogy. So on the Switch, it's been marred by performance issues. Like, I don't care if the game's at 30 frames per second, but I watched some gameplay of it where they were just driving and the frame drops, like the stuttering, back to back to back, and then it would just keep happening, like, while they were driving through the city. And I saw this in like all 3 games, and I'm like, how is this running so bad on the Switch? These games, I mean, I know they're being remastered and everything, but the graphics aren't like crazy. So I felt like they could have ran better on the Switch. I feel like this is a software optimization thing. Then on the consoles, it's been fine. Like, I've been playing San Andreas on the Series X because it's on Game Pass, and for some reason it's only San Andreas, not the other 2. But the San Andreas Remastered is on Game Pass, and it's fine. The graphics do look better and everything. But people have complained about like the way the rain looks, and then some of the character models look bad, and some of the textures look horrible. So it's clear that there just wasn't enough time spent on this remaster. But where it becomes the most clear is the PC version, which had to be completely pulled because apparently they left some code in there that wasn't supposed to be in there. So they had to pull the whole game from sale on PC. Right now it's only available on Rockstar's store anyway, through the Rockstar launcher. And it was so bad, I guess they had to like shut down the whole Rockstar launcher. So there was a period of time where like you couldn't play GTA Online or Red Dead Online because the whole Rockstar launcher was down because they had to pull this game. So it's just a whole mess. And as of this recording, I don't think the game's back up yet. So yeah, I can tell that there probably wasn't enough time and detail spent with these remasters. Like I said, some of it is cool, like they redid the gameplay and everything, but it's still disappointing. I'm gonna wait to see if these performance issues get ironed out, because I still want the Switch version, even though I know I can get the PS5 or the Xbox version and they would run at 60 and it would be beautiful, but I really want to play it handheld. So I'm gonna wait to see if hopefully some of these issues get ironed out. But yeah, maybe they can get that PC version back on sale first and then figure out these other issues. Now, after that long string of disappointing news, I told you, I said the end is gonna be all Gucci, and I'm not gonna break the promise. It is all Gucci. It's just a Gucci Xbox Series X. So Microsoft has partnered with Gucci to do a special edition Xbox Series X, which is going to release November 17th for the low price of $10,000. And there's only going to be 100 made. So yes, it is all Gucci, but it's a Gucci Xbox. And I always hate when they do vanity projects like this for basically computer hardware, because it's going to be outdated eventually, and it's probably going to be within the next 5 to 10 years. So what's the point of spending $10,000 for something that's really going to depreciate in value that fast? Now, of course, this is probably going to be a collector's thing. I don't realistically see anybody who buys these Gucci Xboxes open them up and actually playing them unless they're just flexing that much, or they're just going to be like, oh, well, I'm going to use my Gucci Xbox, which I could see somebody doing that. But it's just going to be a collector's thing that collects dust, and then people are going to be like, oh, I have the Gucci Xbox. I want $20,000 for it in like 10 years or something like that, or something stupid. And I think it's a waste of hardware. Like, it's only 100, so it's not that big of a deal, but that's still 100 Xboxes that could have went to somebody that really wanted to buy the system versus like this collector that's just going to get the Gucci Xbox. I mean, obviously they're going to make a lot of money off of it, because I can tell you right now, nothing, even the Gucci stuff, nothing is worth $10,000 in in that collection. So yeah, they're making a bunch of money off of it, but it's unnecessary. Me personally, I'm just waiting for the FUBU edition of the Xbox Series S. Now that's where I'm going to put in my $10,000. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and bring this video to a conclusion. But if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to tell a friend, tell a coworker, like if you liked the video, share it, subscribe, hit the bell notification to get notified when I drop a video, and always do at least 2 things at the same time.